Believe it or not, the man-made hybrids are some of the common fruits, nuts and vegetables we eat today. They were produced by selective breeding in laboratories, a method by which only plants with desirable characteristics are replanted. In unusual cases, however, insecticides have been blamed for the development of mutant plants by cross-pollination. Naturally, if man had not planted at least one of them in the field, these insects might never have pollinated the plants. Some of the list entries are surprising, since the rest are natural fruits, nuts and vegetables. Number 10. Cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and more. Cocoa, broccoli, cauliflower, kale and Brussels sprouts, collard greens, carbonate, and other closely related plants, Brassica oleracea. The original outline of the wild mustard is still present and still remains today. Wild mustard arose only in some parts of Europe and the Mediterranean some 2,500 years ago. Ancient Greeks and Romans were quickly aware of planting food so that by planting wild mustard seeds with larger leaves it would be selective. The effect was the vegetation that we now call kale and collard green. The raising of wild mustard with bigger leaf buds continued in the 1600s. Selectively, it resulted in a new vegetable wrapped in several leaves, the first call. The wild mustards that had been picked for their longer stems became kohlrabi, small heads became Brussels, and large flowers became broccoli and cauliflower. Number 9. Orange. Today there are many orange varieties. However, the origins of both species are traced to the hybrid that was created by man as the pomelo crosses the mandarin. The pomelo is almost as bitter as the pomelo, though it is sweet with mandarin. The mandarin has an orange hue, but many people misidentify it as a different orange color. False. False. The mandarin is an orange relative. It is uncertain about the orange origin, although it occurs in southern China first. For the years people have selectively cultivated oranges for a large variety so that the orange in the other citrus fruit can be easily mistaken. To be simple, a fruit must be called an orange from the pomelo and mandarin. However, tangerine is not an orange since it grew from the mandarin, but not from the pomelo. But in a gray field, the tangelo we're going to get to eventually. It's a junction between a mandarin and a pomelo. Number 8. Peanuts. Two former forms of peanut, the Arachis sapiensis and Arachis durinensis, are found in current peanut. Two plants were discovered so far from each other that they cannot naturally crossbreed. The Arachis durinensis grows in the Andes between Bolivia and Argentina and the Arachis sapiensis grows in the Bolivia. In the end, researchers revealed that the earliest in South America brought from the Andes valleys Arachis durinensis when they moved 10,000 years ago to Bolivia of today. However, the settler did not know the promise of their new plants soon, and both peons were probably pollinated by bees. It originated in a new peanut, the ancestor of peanuts today. Number 7. Banana. The new, popular banana is a wild Musa acuminata and Musa balbisiana banana hybrid. It's a typical banana. Musa acuminata's interior is fleshy, so it's really uncomfortable. Musa balbisiana has an enjoyable flavor inside but has so many seeds in it. Both bananas are naturally crossbred in the South Asian forests. The resulting banana was, however, sterile, and is the ancestor of the current banana. Early people found the hybrid about 10,000 years ago and learned to grow new trees again. They were selective breeders and replanted only favorably characterized bananas. Thus the modern banana was made. While we were able to produce perfect banana, we couldn't work out how bananas could be grown from seeds. So, when we avoid planting it, bananas will die. Failure to have seed therefore ensures that all bananas are replanted by another tree with the same genetic properties. Number 6. Almond. The almond is a hybrid of the wild almond made by men, which is well known to be bitter and deadly in large quantities when eaten. The history of the modern almond is unknown, and scientists still cannot say which wild almond version was developed in order to grow the modern almond selectively. However, physicists have their hypotheses. It was believed that Amygdalus fensliana, Frisch, Lipski was the wild ancestor of the almond since its trees, grains, and fruits resemble the contemporary almond. It has also been found in Armenia and Azerbaijan, where humans selectively breeds today's almond. Apart from the origin, researchers cannot decide if the almonds are poisonous. Our ancestors were able to produce the ideal sweet almond. Number 5. Grapefruit. The pomegranate is a modern hybrid. It is assumed that the grapefruit came in about 1693 when Captain Shattuck brought pomelo seed, Citrus maxima, to the West Indies and planted it near some orange trees, but the pomelo was not confirmed. The orange and pomelo are then cropped up and the grapefruit is produced, then called Shattuck's. The grapefruit was then unknown outside the Caribbean. Gradually, Europeans heard of the citrus fruit in 1750. Hughes was surprised with the finding that he named the grapefruit prohibited fruit. This was his name until 1814, when John Lunan, planting plant and magistrate in Jamaica, called it a grapefruit, when it appeared like smaller and similar grapes as it began to grow. Only in 1837 was it established to be a clear fruit. Number 4. Boysenberry. Rudolph Boysen, of the county of Orange, California, invented the boysenberry in 1923. In his in-law farm in Anaheim, Boysen, a horticulturalist, has finally grown a hybrid that is good. Boysen's berries, sadly, never had a commercial success. Many years back, a fellow farmer from California named Walter Knott learned about this berry, and asked the artist if he was going to produce more from it. Boysen's beans were never a commercial success. In his farm in Buena Park, California, Knott successfully brought the dying hybrid to life. The boysenberry is considered a variation of the blackberry, but really it's a blackberry hybrid, and either the loganberry or red raspberry. Knott's fruit was named after Boysen, and the berry farm Knott's became the popular amusement park we know today. For what we know, from all three vines, Boysen should have produced the berry. Number 3. Tangelo. The tangelo is a man-made mixture of tangerine and pomelo, as described before. This is literally the name of the tangelo. In general, however, tangelos are confused with tangerines, mandarins and oranges. There are numerous forms of tangelos, and they are not always usually made from tangerine and pomelos, to further complexity. The Mineola tangelo, a popular version, is a tangerine hybrid and a Duncan grapefruit. The tangelo is supposed to have appeared first in the forests of Southeast Asia 3,500 years ago, when insects crossed the mandarin with a fruit similar to the grapefruit. Another version was founded by crossing the tangelo with pomelo. It is thought to have been an orange. Today, however, the tangelos result from a selective breeding program which began in the 1800s. Number 2. Carrots. Carrots were not necessarily orange. Either white or purple, and presumably inedible, were natural carrots. There's also evidence of the use of white carrots in the Romans, but historians suspect it may have been white carrots, parsnips, or both. The modern orange carrot which we eat today is essentially a hybrid of a yellow carrot, which is a white carrot hybrid. In 10th century Persia was the first known ancestor of the modern consumable carrot. In some myths it's white, and in others it's black. These vegetables, unlike today's carrots, had several smaller roots of different sizes. The Persians selectively modified the carrots into larger roots and eventually into a large single root with the greatest roots. The carrots then mutated from white or purple to yellow and finally orange as the selective mutation progressed. Selective carrot replication continues to develop taste and color until modern days. Number 1. Strawberry. The modern strawberry is a hybrid of man-made wild strawberries with a shorter life cycle and improved taste. In France in the 18th century the modern strawberry first emerged. In the 1300s, French botanists began to grow wild strawberries into their garden when they discovered that wild strawberries replicated in cloning. The hybridization scheme started much earlier. Oddly enough, some strawberries never produced fruits and half that, after a couple of years, unexpectedly started cloning and producing fruits. The French succeeded in developing wild strawberries which were 15-20 times as usual, but still were very few. On July 6, 1764, When he crossed a male Fragaria moscata with a woman Fragaria chiloensis, Antoine Nicolas Duchenne created a modern strawberry. Prior to Duchenne's strawberry, French botanists were never aware of the male and female sections of strawberries.